Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Operation Status Quo. Are you ready to make your flow, create your flow, live your flow, be your flow? Or is it just time for you to go? Don't say that. We're just getting started. Yeah. Heyo. Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. Hold on. Here we go. Hello. Is this thing on? Tick, 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 tick. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? That's the problem, right? This thing not as bad as this thing. You know, it's the combination of the two that makes it difficult for you. All right. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Operation Status Quo. I am Pete.Palma. I am your user-friendly host, broadcasting live from the comfy confines of my very own home. As you well know by now, this is the place where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life. And then, of course, we create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. So what are you doing out there right now to create your own flow of quo? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you're doing well out there. Moving through the summer real nice. We're into August, right? It's feeling good out there. I hope you guys are feeling good and having a good time and all that type of stuff. You enjoying your summer? Let me know what you're doing out there in the comments below if you're doing something fun. That'd be nice. I like fun things. All right. So, I almost forgot again. I'm almost always forgetting to say, because I say so much that I forget how much I have to say, which is really, I'm not saying anything, but it seems like it, doesn't it? Like, if you are not living your flow of quo, all hands on deck, that's right. You're living someone else's flow, ladies and gentlemen, and that's a no-no right here on Operation Status Quo. Why would you want to do it anyway? It's bad enough, like I said. I think I said this last week. I said it's hard enough to live your own life. Trying to live someone else's life. It just doesn't work out. All right, so anyway, today is what is today? Well, first of all, let me let you know we have a special guest via the Starlink OSQ satellite, ladies and gentlemen, a little later in the show. It's actually someone who's been following what I've been doing and wanted to try to give me some advice to maybe help what I'm doing, my efforts grow. So we'll see anyway, but we have our special guest coming up a little bit later. And as well, we're going to do This Day in History today towards the end. So, we'll be the end. It's like towards the end. If we ever get to the end, maybe I should end it right now. Just tell me, just let me know. I can do it for you. I can make life a lot easier for you. I can do it. Heyo. You know, it's funny. I made a recently, before I get started real quick, I'll just say, some of the stuff I'm doing on social media and such, but I try to make, little blips for advertising, not advertising, but promoting and showing Operation Status Quo, so people may decide one day to watch. I don't know. Except for my few. I know I got my dedicated people out there, and I do appreciate it. But anyway, and I made these clips of just me. I'm thinking about how quickly I speak in general, right? If you're watching the show, if you watch it through from beginning to end as the live stream as it is, I'm already talking 100 miles an hour and jumping all over the place. But then when I chop it up into 3 second little clips of me going back and forth, it becomes true mania. It's really funny to me. I should do the whole show that way, really. I should record this and then get rid of it and just chop it up and make the promos, right? I guess they're probably more entertaining or at least more tolerable, right, ladies and gentlemen? And speaking of thank yous, I was going to do this. I got to thank my Austria audience out there. They've been following on Instagram and Facebook and liking and stuff. And even Gabby, I haven't heard from Gabby in a while. She's the original. And thank you, Gabby, for sharing one of my posts yesterday or today. I guess it was this morning or whatnot, and going through and clicking like on some of those things. Gabby's been with me since I started the Pete.Palma program back in November of 2020. Well, yeah, but she probably came not too far after that. I forgot when, probably early 21 when she found me. But either way, she's still there, which is nice, and I'm glad that you're still there too. And I do see occasional buffering. I noticed that I've been doing the show a little bit later in the afternoon. I said try to do it more like 12, 1 o'clock, back some months ago. And I never noticed as much buffering. So I don't know if it's like an afternoon thing or, it's just my computer's older, and I don't who cares about the buffering? You can hear what I'm saying. Just listen. Just sit back and listen. And if I get a little robotic on you, like doing the robot. I'm the buffering man. All right, today is the 6th of August in the good year 2025, and today's program is entitled Rise and Shine. I think it's important to remind people once again of the potential they have within themselves. Don't look at me as an example, all right, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, I'm trying to tell you what you can do. There's no hope left for me. But, you know, as the world's been going on and things that have been happening, and I see, like, I observe a lot. I really like to observe and just behavior in society and what the focus is and what people are talking about and things that they're doing and such. And I always say there's no right or wrong, good or bad. So what I see is a lot of struggle in people like trying to get themselves situated and find their way in what's going on in the world today. The world itself is so in a state of so much change, right, that it makes it difficult to find some sort of steady ground or footing to be able to make decisions on where you're going to go next. We know how you're going to build the foundation of your life and such. And I notice a lot, and I see, for me personally, I don't see it this way, right? Because as I've mentioned multiple times, I've taken myself out of the whole mainstream complex in a way. Like I don't interact the way I even see it with people, how they interact with me sometimes. Like I know I'm jumping. I don't want to jump so much. I can't help it. My brain. I'll get into that. But let me just go back and just say people struggling because they're trying so hard to find steady ground and such. And I find a lot of difficulty that people have, is because they're still trying in certain ways of using old methodology and thought processes to build a foundation within a system that is no longer functioning properly, not because we have to destroy it or, all the heavy stuff, but just because as natural growth, just like anything else that grows and changes through the course of time and life, humanity as a consciousness is the same, right? It's like, so it's just part of the bigger level. That's why I say I take myself out of the mainstream, all these points kind of, go together. So I don't see the world that way. I'm always looking at the world from this other perspective, this distant, very distant, ladies and gentlemen, very distant perspective in a sense of like, it's interesting to me because like when I see interactions with people and just different things getting onto people are always thinking other things is what I mean. Like I got to go back again because now, hold on. I got to break up my brain. It's too much, too many thoughts at once and I want to get them out. Hey-o. So I think in a sense, people are holding themselves back, right? Spiritually, emotionally, and just with all the positive opportunities there are in life for growth. Why do we want to stay the same? Like, I think people are holding themselves back by still trying to fit within the parameters of what the world was. Like, I'm not saying not to do things like that humans do, but the way they're structured and the way we have been doing them, as it runs people ragged, right? You're always trying to climb up. You're always trying to prove yourself. You're always trying to, whatever you got to do. It's like, so instead of being reflective, I think, and being able to take space, like just be aware, like you don't have to make any grand change and like stop doing everything or don't participate in life or, I don't mean anything like that. Everything is just a reflection and a potential and a possibility for whatever it is that you want to choose. But what I'm saying is if we as a collective can start thinking in terms of focusing on ourselves and being true and honest with ourselves and realizing what we are and operating from that space, doesn't that, just logically speaking, as much logic as we can do here on Operation Status Quo, ladies and gentlemen, logically speaking, if each person is doing that, isn't that creating a better totality for everyone? So no one essentially is dependent on others. Not that we don't help each other out in situations, but like the way we are dependent on these systems, the way we're dependent on how we get our electricity, how we get our water, how our food is grown. Like we're all kind of, you're dependent on going to the grocery store. You don't understand? And I'm not saying again, like we can have grocery stores, right? But not the way the system is done, and not like from the emotional and I don't know, life perspective, not from the point of view where everything is you are separate, you are less than, you have to keep up, all this thing, instead of teaching the abundance of each human from the very beginning, from the onset, right? If we instill that from the beginning, then think about how that would grow and how each person comes from that space. We wouldn't have to feel like we need to trample on each other or always be watching that somebody's trying to get over on you, right? Or all these type of things. People will be doing work that is meaningful because everyone will be flowing more from a heart-based space, a community space, a space where we're trying to do things that are creative and help one another, creative in all aspects, creative in how we do business, creative in how we grow food, creative in how we care for our communities. Just the heart, not this cold animal of the system that we've been living in for all this time. And that's why I'm saying, rise and shine, because, for those out there that have difficulty with it, it's like, I'm just laughing again because, like, I can't explain my perspective to you, right? I just sit here and talk. So whatever comes out is what comes out. But if people take that, instead of looking at what's out there and worrying and being afraid and holding themselves back and trying to say, well, I got to do something, I got to do this, I got to do that. Like, I don't know. I can't say enough about how important it is to take the space. I know I've talked about it before here, and these themes come up over and over in a sense because they really are it's really just one simple universal theme of realizing that this life isn't real. There's no time or space. I know that sounds like, I know how that sounds, but really reflect on that and think about how much power that gives you to know that you don't have to wait for a future to develop per se, as much as be in tune with what you are as a vibration and let it create what it is. That it just the way a tree or any other, an animal is a baby duck and then it's a grown duck, right? I mean, it has to go through the stages. So, and same thing with our lives, not just as a physical, but as a soul as well. So, we can let ourselves grow, observe the growth of our process, and take comfort in the fact that we chose our lives for certain lessons. And again, that there's nothing that serious in this world to get us. As crazy as things seem, it's still a confluence of the agreement between humanity's consciousness. It's all of us that are creating the reflections that we're seeing for the necessity of the change that we're moving towards. And it's I don't know. So I think people should take pressure off themselves. I don't know. It's pretty simple, ladies and gentlemen. Are you with me? Is anybody with me? Let me know in the comments. Hey-o. All right. So that's kind of like where I'm going with it. See, I make a couple notes over here. I do believe it's a new world that we're coming into, and a good way. Like, again, we don't need to go back. Why do the same thing over and over again? There's a new world out there with new opportunities, and everything is coming from us individually, as opposed to like being like just rote program bots of the system. The system ran everything before. Now, why can't we reverse it and we let the system become what it is based on what we're doing, instead of us always under the suppression of what we're, being confined. It's just, I don't know. It's just how I feel about all that stuff. And I just think people could take pressure off themselves because everybody thinks that everything crazy is going on. They talk about the issues. And, there's no issues, man. It's just don't give your energy into things that don't resonate with you. I'll even say it with conversations in certain regard with certain people and things. Like somebody will say something to me in a certain way, and I already know where they're coming from with their energy and their mindset. So, a lot of times I just won't respond. Won't respond, or it depends on the situation. But I just realized, like, I'm not going to feed that. Like, I see the trickery in what you're saying to me, right? But like, I'm not going to point it out. Like, you already showed it to me. So, like, I don't have to point it out because I already know it. So now that gives me the opportunity to operate in it. And that doesn't mean somebody's your enemy, right? Everybody's at a different level. So, but you have to just realize, just because we all have people in our lives, friends and family and stuff, but if they're here and you know something intuitively, I think, you should go with that. I don't think anyone should ever give away any of their sovereignty for any relationship, job, person, anything. I mean, you're better off being destitute and dead, than giving away your, because without your true personal sovereignty and your ability to make those choices and live within your boundaries of what is your function, once you give that away, then there's nothing left. And it's, to me, that's like the most, if I was going to say anything that made sense today, it's like, there we go. I'll say it with that. Let me see. I just want to just look in here for if I had anything else I wanted to say, but that's pretty much everything. I always make a couple little notes in case I get too far off track. Then it helps me get back. But, yeah, and I'll leave it at this one more time, just saying, if we all start to focus more so on ourselves and live with love from ourselves, then it'll grow and expand. And if everybody's doing that, we have a much better world. And it really comes down to two. I'm really gonna leave this section with this. It really comes down to the faith. Like, you really have to believe. You really do have to believe and know that you're more than just the physical body that you are in this life. You have to really know it. Like, I'm not saying, it might take time to really know it. I don't know, depending on where you are or what, but I mean, the more you focus in that regard and you notice just the simplest things in life when you're thinking of something and you're thinking, I wonder if I'm right about that. And, a butterfly goes by and, people say, oh, so what, a butterfly went by, but there's just things that are always showing you very subtly whether you're on the path or not. And you can't have expectations of, well, I've been thinking this way and I've been meditating or whatever, or I don't see anything. But it takes time. You gotta put the time in towards where you're going, and then you'll be able to reflect on it over time and look back and say, damn, look how all this came together, and look at all the little signs I was getting all the way through. So I don't know, that's pretty much what I have for that. So you deserve it. Rise and shine, ladies and gentlemen. I'm buffering. I see buffering going on. Buffering. Because we're buffering. YouTube doesn't like me to give positive messages to people. Hey-o. If I was sitting here talking about how to shave your ass, I'll tell you, I have 1 million views in 10 minutes. All right. I've been keeping my guests waiting long enough. We're going to go over here now. Where am I? I'm in the right spot. We're going to go over to the OSQ Starlink connected satellite, ladies and gentlemen. This is I don't know if it's a social media creator or rapper. He does a lot of things. He says his name is Candy Ass G. He goes by Candy Ass G. And he said he's been following. Excuse me there. He's been following some of my stuff, and and he wanted to give me some. Hold on one second, Candy Ass G. I got to take a sip of water. So I know it's unprofessional, but this is real life. This is real life, ladies and gentlemen. This is as real as it gets here. All right, let's go over. Candy Ass G on the OSQ Starlink satellite. Candy Ass G, are you there? Can you hear me?
Hey, man. Yeah, man, this Candy Ass G, man. How you doing, Pete? Well, thank you so much for having me on your show, man.
Okay. I don't know what happened. I tried to hit my AO and it didn't work. All right. Hey, Candy. So can I call you Candy, or you want me to say the whole thing? How do you prefer it?
Man, I'm simple, man. I'm just flowing, man. Flow. Cause I go, man. Yeah. And a la, man. That's how I do it all the time. You call me wherever you want, man.
All right. Well, I'll call you Candy SG to, it's the first time that we're speaking together, so I want to keep it, more professional, so I show my proper respect. So you reached out to me. You said that, you've been watching some of my stuff and you kind of like it, but you think I could be doing better. So what do you got for me, Candy?
Yeah, man. Well, because I've been listening to you, man. And here's the problem, man. Nobody watching you and nobody paying attention to anything you do, man.
Candy SG, hold on a second. I don't think it's that bad. I mean, I do have people that watch and follow along. I mean, it's not as destitute as you make it seem.
Me, I'm in the business, man. I know what's going on because I go boo and and I make my videos, man, like with the rims. You make the rims spin, man. Anyway, listen, man. This is what's going on with you. You saying too much stuff people gotta think about, man. You're talking about, like, I don't know, the universe, man, and time and space and all this stuff, man. I'm listening here. My brain's melting outside my head listening to you, man. Now, if you want to be popular on social media, you want people to like what you're doing, man, you gotta take it down a notch, man. You gotta do more like a boo, 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 a dee, 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 a boo, 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 and a dee, dee, dee.
I got to do boo, 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 and DDD. It's like, I mean, you're telling me that I'm basically, you know what, I don't want to use the words dumb it down because I don't think people are necessarily stupid out there. They're just, you know, their attention has been kind of diverted to other things. I don't know about all that, Candy. I mean, I appreciate what you're saying, but I don't know if I want to, you know, I kind of like the approach I take, and I'm hoping that it will reach the right people that need to hear it.
Yeah, man. Well, you can hope all day long, man, that something's going to happen for you. Maybe you can tell all your stories about the universe when you're standing in the bread line, man. Hey, you gotta say if you get some government cheese, man, when you gotta go down there with your food stamp, man, because you're thinking you're going to be, what you gotta do, a boo, boo, boo. D. Oh, and then you put the chain on, man. And you wave your hand around like you wave your hand around at the cameraman, and you do all that. Like, and you go, I don't know, you say, like, oh, she got nice boobies. She got nice boobies. You say stuff like that, man. That's how people, watch your show, man. But anyway, that's what I got for you.
All right. Well, Candy SG, let me give you a round of applause. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to say, I do, give, provide before you leave us today, Candy SG?
Nah, man, that's it. That's all I got, man. I'm going to keep watching you. I'll be happy to give you more advice in the future. So till next time, bye, man. Candy SG, say yo, a B, a D, man.
All right, Candy SG. Everybody's a critic, Hey-o. But, I guess he's right a little bit. I could possibly try to. I mean, how much? I'm ringing bells and popping horns over here and using shakers. I got my snare drum. I mean, how much more can I dumb it down, ladies and gentlemen? So you should put on like a clown outfit. Hey kids, All right. Anyway, let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do some This Day in History. We're doing pretty well today. I mean, I keep saying I want to keep it under 30 minutes or 22. I think we could do it today. I really, really do. If I just kind of go through history and not make a big spectacle out of it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing out there, by the way? I love you guys. If you haven't done so and you're still with me, why not just click like? I mean, it's not going to, this is a quick little quick like, And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, to the show. The chat's always running while I'm here on the live stream, so you can always feel, you're welcome, I want to say. You're always welcome to chime in on the chat while we're here together live. And, of course, drop comments any other time that you feel is appropriate for you to do so. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do This Day in History. Today is August 6th, the good year 2025. We'll be talking about days like today, but not today, because today's its own day, and the days we'll be discussing have already passed us by. I forgot to do this. Usually I do This Day in History. I mean, you got to have all the proper accoutrements of the show for, the proper elements, I guess I should say. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Today is August 6th. What happened on days like today, August 6th? It is the feast day of the Transfiguration of the Lord. Oh, my God. I didn't realize they had that going on back then. I thought that was like a newer issue. It commemorates the transfiguration of Jesus Christ on Mount Tabor, revealing his divinity to Peter, James, and John. The biblical account is found in Matthew, blah, blah, blah. So there you go, the transfiguration of the Lord. The Lord decided that... No, stop. Come on. I really like that. Like, I was like, my brain locked up again. I had like 6 things come at once, and like they all just like hit the same spot and exploded. Hey-o. We will not go down that path with our Lord and Savior. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, here we go. 9/11. But by the way, that transfiguration of the Lord. Did they say when it was? They didn't say it was. They said it was. They said it was on August 6th, but I guess that's the holiday that it's celebrated. Okay, it's a holiday. Anyway, 9/11 warning, ladies and gentlemen. 9/11 warning. On August 6, 2001, a White House briefing entitled Bin Laden Determined to Strike the U.S. is given to George W. Bush. It stated that a large attack was to take place on the United States soil, blah, blah, blah. We all know what happened. I mean, of course, in the briefing, but they knew what they were doing anyway. Do we have to go into it very deeply right now? I don't think so, but, we do know that it was done on purpose. It was just like the pandemic, right? You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? So we're beating a dead horse here. Oh, it was a White House briefing. No kidding. They knew they were, forget the White House briefing. They planned the damn thing. Forget the White House briefing. All right. So here we go. The first atomic bomb used in war, August 6, 1945, a uranium fission bomb with an estimated yield of 20,000 tons of TNT is dropped on Hiroshima, Japan by the U.S. from the B-29 Enola Gay. 100,000 people are killed and 60% of the city is destroyed. Yeah! God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her as we bomb her. Yeah, more applause. Just bomb people. Just bomb people. We're proud of it. Yeah, we're proud of it. 60% of the city destroyed. 100,000 people dead. Yeah, we did it. We did it. Let's see. Here we go. The first woman to swim the English Channel. On this day, August 6, 1926, Gertrude Edery, I guess it'd be Edery, of New York, completed the 21-mile swim in 14 hours, 34 minutes, almost 2 hours faster than the current men's record. Her record stood until 1950. So there you go. The first woman to swim the English Channel. I like swimming. I'm a big swimmer kind of guy. I can't see that I want to swim multitudes of miles, like out in the middle of, the ocean where anything can it's the English Channel, but whatever. If you people who swim wherever, it'll be like swimming from Florida to Cuba. I guess I can give it a shot, pretty good chance I'm not going to make it. All right. Well, a lot of the Cubans make it here, but they usually have rafts, right? Do they still do that anymore? Are they still washing up on the shores, or are they done with that? The first electric chair execution on this day, August 6, 1890. Hold on. I know I got my, where's my electric? Here we go. We got to give a salute to the electric chair. Let's see. Convicted murderer William Khmer, I guess Khmer or Khmer, you probably, if you know who you are, well, probably don't because you're dead now, is executed in New York. He had murdered his common law wife with a hatchet. Now, if he would have done it a little nicer, maybe poisoned her, or just strangled her a little bit. I don't know if he would have got, they were only common law. They weren't officially married, right? So, it's but the first electric chair execution, it's another thing we should be proud of, huh? Hey, we figured out, how should we kill people? I don't know. Let's stick them in a chair and just fry them. Let's just fucking fry the son of a bitch. Yeah. That's a good idea. I don't know. I was thinking maybe we can chop him up. Hey-o. I mean, he chopped up his wife with a hatchet. They probably should chop him up. I guess they should do it the way you do. However you kill somebody is how you should be killed. Let's see. The first person on August 6, 1992, the first person to publicly sell their own Oscar, Harold Russell, sells his 1946 Best Supporting Award for $65,000. He was the first visibly handicapped person to appear in a major motion picture, having lost both hands in World War II. He won his Oscar for The Best Years of Our Lives, a 1946 classic, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go check it out. The Gulf War, August 6, 1990, in response to Saddam Hussein's invasion of Kuwait, the United Nations orders a boycott of Iraq and occupied Kuwait. So we all know what happened with that. That's a whole nother a bunch of nonsense. It's funny because it's like these guys like Bin Laden and Saddam here. Poor Saddam, how did he end up? They dug him out of a hole, right? And, then they show video of them hanging him or something, tearing down his statue and all that thing. But it's our government government that puts these people in power, right? We put them in power, and then we orchestrate something that's like all effed up. And then Saddam's sitting there saying, sir, we just invaded Kuwait. What do you mean we invaded Kuwait? I didn't do that. No, well, the United States, sir, they kind of said. I was like, what do you mean? And then all of a sudden he turns on the TV and he sees he's a criminal. Now he has to run for his life. You know what I'm trying to say? Like the poor guy, he was just sitting there eating his Doritos, enjoying life. He was just relaxing, smoking a hookah. He had no problems. And then like, boom, they flip it on him. And now that's it. It's over. You got to go hide in a hole. He didn't make it. He didn't make it. All right, let's see. We'll do this. We'll do a couple birthdays. Oh no, I'm gonna go past 30 minutes. I knew it. I knew I couldn't do it. I talked too damn much. Jamaica. August 6, 1962, Jamaica gains its independence and becomes a member of the British Commonwealth. So, I love Jamaica. I've been there multiple times. It's a beautiful spot. I would recommend going there. I know a lot of people from Jamaica through the course of my life that I've met. And, yeah. So let's see if we got, let's do this one. The god of the internet, John Postel. He was born on this day in 1943. He has passed in 1998, but he is the god of the internet, American computer scientist, internet pioneer, referred to as the god of the internet. He was responsible for assigning addresses to domain names and for editing RFC, request for comments, also known as Postel's Law, blah, blah, blah. I don't know about all this, though, of god of the internet, because I could have sworn it was Al Gore. I'm sure Al Gore came. He was just sitting there relaxing, thinking about how good a job they did getting rid of Saddam Hussein. And he said, I got an idea. Let's make an internet. Al Gore did it. All right. Andy Warhol, he was born on this day in 1928. He died in 1987. Lucille Ball was born on this day in 1911. My fellow Leos. My birthday's coming up, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, 6 days away. So if you love me out there, for my birthday, nobody's going to see this part of the show. No one sees this. But for my birthday, like, subscribe, help me out. All right. Let's see. Is there anybody else? John Benet Ramsey. It's too late in the show for me to get in and start saying things about John Benet Ramsey, but she was born on this day in 1990, and then I'm sure met her demise probably on Epstein Island. Oh, I knew I had to say something. All right, let's finish it up with our thought for the day, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for, we got to go all the way back to the top. Thought for the day. Speech, ladies and gentlemen, speech was given to man to conceal his thoughts. Ooh, I don't conceal many of my thoughts. That's the problem. I'm really a straight shooter. What you see is what you get. I don't mean any harm. I'm not against anybody. I really do love everyone. But, life is fun, and we got to make fun and have fun. And that's just what it's all about. Hey-o. Right here on Operation Status Quo. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so much for being here with me today. I appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please take the time to like, subscribe, share. Send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and, of course, those you despise as well. As you very well know, I love each and every one of you out there individually as well as a group. God bless you. Don't forget to go to pete.palma.com. Don't forget to stream the Happy Day album. Until next time, Operation Status Quo, disengaged.
Is a boulevard of 10 short blocks.